into the roots of one of the most legendary guitar tones in rock history. The tone that defined Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. We're talking about none other than Slash and his mystery amp, the legendary Sir 39. How did this amp help create that raw, powerful sound, and what happened to it? Let's find out. Slash is one of the most recognizable guitarists in the world. But did you know that one of the key ingredients to his Appetite for Destruction sound was an amp that pretty much vanished after the recording? This is the story of the Sir 39, the amp that brought Appetite to life. Let's take it back to the mid-80s. Slash was a rising star in the LA rock scene, jamming with the newly formed Guns N' Roses. The band was getting ready to record what would become one of the best-selling debut albums in rock history. But there was one problem. Slash couldn't find an amp that gave him the massive tone he was looking for. He tried everything, different Marshalls, various pedals, different setup, but nothing clicked. The Sir 39 was a modified Marshall amp rented from Studio Instrument Rentals in Los Angeles. This amp wasn't just any regular Marshall. It had been customized by Tim Caswell, a renowned amp tech who added special mods to boost its gain and overdrive. The result? A tone that was gritty, powerful, and full of sustain, yet still incredibly clear. Perfect for Slash's bluesy and hard-hitting style. The moment Slash plugged into that amp, the magic happened. That classic lead tone on Sweet Child O' Mine, you can thank the Sir 39 for that. It was the amp behind his riffs in Welcome to the Jungle, Paradise City, and many more. It shaped the entire sound of Appetite for Destruction. So what exactly made this amp so special? The Sir 39 was based on a 1970s Marshall JMP Super Lead 100-watt head, but it had been modded by Tim Caswell to push the gain beyond what a typical Marshall could do. It wasn't just about distortion, it had a unique harmonic richness that gave Slash's solos that warm, crunchy tone. This is what helped Slash stand out. His playing wasn't just about technical skill, it was about feel, and the Sir 39 gave him the exact tonal foundation to build that emotional connection with every note. But here's where the story takes a twist. After the Appetite sessions, Slash wanted to keep using the Sir 39, but when he returned to rent it again, the amp was gone. Rumors to be on tour with George Lynch. The Studio Instrument Rentals was a big part of the whole music scene. Bands like Aerosmith, the Rolling Stones, Metallica, and Van Halen were known clients. Slash ended up having a newer version of the Sir 39. It was known as the 34 and 36 mod, even though it had the number 39 printed on it. Tim Caswell finished his work with Sir, and a new guy came in by the name of Frank Levi. He was the one responsible for those mods on that period of time. And there's also rumors that Frank Levi actually made the mods on the amp that was part of the AFD session and went out on tour with Lynch. The biggest difference between these mods are pretty much a toggle switch that can turn on and off the mod on the Sir 39. Its exact whereabouts are still unknown to this day, and it has become a piece of rock and roll folklore. For those who want to have similar sound, you can use a JCM 800, but with no famous boosters. Instead, use a Boss EQ7 going into the amp and turn up the guitar signal to make it add overdrive. This tone doesn't sound like a distortion at all, but more like an overdrive at its limits. And make sure you boost these frequencies about plus 3 dB or more with a sharp Q. 350, 815, and 1250 Hertz. the Sir-39 out of reach, Slash had to find other ways to capture that iconic tone. He tried out different Marshalls, but nothing quite matched the raw power of the original. Not one to give up on a great sound, Slash partnered with Marshall to recreate that elusive tone. In 1996, they released the Marshall JCM 2555 SL, the first official Slash signature amp. It came close to replicating the Sir-39's punchy distortion and powerful mid-range. But it wasn't until 2010 that Marshall and Slash truly nailed it. Together they created the Marshall AFD 100, which was designed to capture the exact sound of the Sir-39 from the Appetite for Destruction sessions.
Now the amp that we used to do the Appetite record was a Marshall JCM 800 that I rented from SIR. And it was one of a handful of amps that I tried out, and it just sounded amazing, and that's what I recorded with. And ever since then, this particular amp has been the source of a lot of attention, and sort of, people are out there building mods and trying to replicate this amp. So we dug up all the information on this particular model and this particular amp, and decided to put it out ourselves. So this is the Marshall, the AFD 100.
With 2 modes, AFD mode and 34 mode, this amp has been dividing a lot of opinions among the guitarists. Half of them love, and the other part not so much. The AFD 100 was used on the self-entitled album Slash. This amp has the 2 versions of the old mods, the 34 and the AFD 100 aka Mod 39. Even though the original Sir-39 is lost to time, its legacy lives on in the sound of Appetite for Destruction and in every note Slash plays. That amp helped define a generation of rock music and cemented Slash as one of the greatest guitarists of all time. So, whether you're a gearhead, a guitarist, or just a fan of Guns N' Roses, you now know the story behind the amp that changed rock forever. What do you think? Could you capture Slash's tone with one of his signature amps? Let me know in the comments below. The gear I'm using to recreate this sound, and also this video, are right down in the description. And I totally recommend you this video right here.